guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are in my kitchen, not in my room, because today we're actually baking. And because Thanksgiving is in a couple days, we are making Thanksgiving themed food. Well, it's actually not food, it's a dessert today. And guess what we're making? We're making pumpkin pie cupcakes. I'm very excited. So, the ingredients you're going to need are pumpkin pie, or pure pumpkin puree that I have in here, with the white stuff is evaporated milk, which is our second ingredient. And then we have white granulated sugar. We have an egg, and there's also some vanilla extract in here. I don't know if you can see that. Half around is vanilla extract. Okay, next we have all-purpose white flour. We have in here is a mixture of pumpkin pie mix, like spice mix. If you don't have that, which I don't have at home, I've tried this multiple times, you can just use cinnamon to taste the same. We have a nutmeg, which is just going to make the pumpkin spice mix, that's what I just did. And then we have baking soda and baking powder. And we're going to use whipped cream, which I don't have right now on me, for the icing on our cupcakes. We're also going to need an ice cream scooper, a spatula, I just have two different ones, some cupcake liners, a cupcake mold, and we're going to need a bowl, which I'm going to get. I'm just getting a bowl, actually, just for cooking. I just have this bowl. Okay, so now I'm going to move the video to just me showing you the bowl, so it'll be easier for you to see. So here's the bowl. There's my bowl. So we're going to start off with something. Okay, so I'm back. And first we're going to start off with putting 1 can of pumpkin puree, and you want it to be 15 ounces. And we also want 3/4 of a cup of evaporated milk. I just have them in one bowl together, so I waste as many bowls. And the pumpkin puree is kind of thick, so I'm just gonna use my spatula to scoop that up. And before I go on to the next step, I forgot to say that you need to preheat your oven to 300. So I'm going to warm up. While my oven is warming up, I'm going to mix the mixture. So you're going to mix the pumpkin puree and the evaporated milk together. The pumpkin puree doesn't smell that good, but you want it to mix it together, and the evaporated milk won't be liquidy, it will be together. And I'll show you what it should look like when you're done with it. It's a bit liquidy. But it should look this orange color, and yeah, it should be like not very like coming off your spatula and you shake it, but the actual, like, when it's together, it's going to be liquidy. Then we're going to add 2 eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I have only 1 egg because I'm only doing half of the recipe, and one batch is 12, but I'm only making 6. I'm doing half the recipe, but I'm telling you the measurements for the whole, batch, because you guys probably want to make the whole batch. But if you guys want to make half the batch, I'll put the amount in the description of the video. But you're gonna put in 2 eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla if you're making the full batch. And mix those until the egg, you can't see any of the yellow part of the egg, you can't see any of the clear part of the egg, and you can't see any of the vanilla. And I'll show you when it's done how it should look like. Okay. This is how. I didn't get it perfectly, but that's what it should look like because we're gonna mix more. Then our next step is the spices. So the original recipe with the pumpkin spice is 2 teaspoons of pumpkin spice. Whereas since I mix nutmeg and cinnamon, it's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. And here there's also 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm gonna put them all in here. And I'm gonna mix it. Mix. I love mixing. I love adding the ingredients too. Mix. Okay. I think I got it all mixed. So you want it to look like what our original thing looked like, but with brown little specks, because we added the spices and all that stuff in there. It smells kind of good. I don't like the smell of the pumpkin puree because it overpowers it, but that is okay. Next, we're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. I'm just gonna sprinkle it all over the place, but you can lump it in one spot. And mix. Also, yeah. Just me mixing here. The batter is gonna be quite liquidy because we don't have a lot of flour. This is just half, but because I'm making half, like I already said earlier. But you guys can make the full batch. You could double it to, well, I'm telling you the amount to make the full batch, but you can double the amount that I'm telling you to make 2 batches, or you could just use the amount that I put in the link or in the description below, so that you can see. If you want just half, if you want just 6. Can't wait to try these. I love pumpkin pie, so I'm expecting this to be good. If it's not gonna be good, I'm gonna be kind of mad. I didn't really pick this week what it's going to be because I wanted to make pumpkin pie, but I didn't have the stuff for it. But that's okay. My mom picked because she has a preschool, and they bake every Friday, so I just decided to do the recipe with them. That's why I have to do half, because my mom usually splits the recipe in half, and she didn't feel like she didn't want me to make the full batch because, yeah. I'm just gonna keep on mixing the flour in. And you could get like the nutmeg and the pumpkin cinnamon if you don't have it at home, and the pumpkin puree at Safeway, and also the evaporated milk. that's where I got my ingredients. Not sponsored. And if you see, mine has a lot of like flour chunks that you have to mix a lot. Like if I show you real close, see my spoon has chunks. So I'm going to mix until I have no chunks. Don't mix too hard though. I've been baking it basically my whole life. Ever since I was like 3, I've been baking. So I know how to mix fast and do it good. But if you haven't been cooking for as long as I have, I've been doing it for almost a decade now. Then you could do it fast. But if you haven't, and this is your first time cooking, and you just want something for Thanksgiving, then I would recommend doing it slow like I am, or do it fast if you're a pro. Hey, don't mix it like I am, please. Even if you're a pro, unless you were a Master Chef, and I'm not that good. If you're Gordon Ramsay watching this, I'm very bad at cooking. Not that bad, but like I'm like a million times worse than you. Like, you're amazing. I swear. If Gordon Ramsay watches this video, I'm gonna be so happy. Except that I don't know if he watched it or not. Okay. I don't have that many more crumbs. So now I'm going to take my cupcake liners and my cupcake tray. And I'm going to put the cupcake liner. I took one extra cupcake liner. Okay. Then you're going to take your ice cream scoop up and get all the stuff off your spatula. And then don't lick the spatula because this has eggs in it. I'm also just gonna rub it off my bowl. And I'm just putting it in dirty stuff pile because I feel like it. Also because I need to wash this. There it is. And now I'm gonna use my ice cream scooper. I don't have a lot of batter though, but I'm going to do, it's quite liquidy actually. I'm gonna move the bowl so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to use my ice cream scooper and I'm gonna put 1 scoop into each cupcake liner thing. Just 1 scoop. You'll see why. And you always want to rub the stuff that's coming off on the side of your bowl. And if it drips a little bit on your tray, don't leave it. You're just gonna have a little small cupcake. And if you don't like whipped cream, you don't have to. You could just make it muffins. And I'm going to put 1 spoonful because now I know that there's enough for each one to have 1 more scoop. And yeah, you just want to add 2 ice cream scoops. Well, or just like, why does this one have so much more? And this one, okay. And you want them around the same size, but not to the very top of the ice or the cupcake mold because then that just is gonna be a big mess. And just like that. And this goes into this one. And just scooping rest out into this. And then I'm just gonna put like a tiny little drop in each one. I have just a tiny bit left. If you guys want, you could make mini cupcakes. You could make, like, I was going to use my mini, like, tray, but I didn't feel like it. I felt like having a big cupcake. So, yeah, I'm basically done. So now I'm gonna wait for my oven to preheat. And yeah, while that's happening, I can talk to you guys. So, okay, that was an accident. I'm so sorry. Very sorry. Ugh. Okay, putting my camera back in. Okay, now you guys can see me. Okay, so this is how, I don't want to lean it that much. So this is how mine looks like. And it's kind of full, so what I'm going to do is going to tap it, and my oven is ready, so I'm going to see you guys. Welcome back. And I just took out my beautiful cupcakes that are not done out of the oven. Just to tell you, I had the oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I did half of the recipe, but I cooked it for 30 minutes, and they're a bit soft in the middle. I think that's how they're supposed to be. Yeah, that's how they're supposed to be. So I'm going to get my whipped cream, and I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I am back, and so this is how they look like I showed you. And you want them to be wiggly in the middle. And when they cool down, you could put the whipped cream. But I want to try out the whipped cream. But first, I'm going to get a plate to put them on the plate. I'm just gonna put them on the plate, and they're nice and wiggly inside, like pumpkin pie. And I'm going to try just a small piece of this one. Ooh, steam is coming out because I just took it out of the oven, but I want it warm. I'm gonna get to cut a little. Oh, baby! Okay, it looks raw, but it's supposed to be wiggly like this. And to test it is like a wooden stick. If you put it in, it's just a tiny bit dirty. It's done. Or just cook it for 20 to 30 minutes, and it'll be ready. I can't really taste the flavor because it's hot, but it has like a yummy taste to it. And if you add whipped cream, it probably will taste better.